podcast is rated TV PG for fantasy violence and language. Welcome back to Star Wars Birth of the Republic tabletop role-playing game, Episode 19. I'm Kirk, and I will be your storyteller.
I am Andrew. I play Hakru, the Zabrak Scout.
I'm Eric. I'm playing Lashara, the Bothan Noble.
I'm Greg. I'm playing Dodd, the Human Scoundrel.
Yeah, I'm Seth, playing Jad Markeda, the Rhodian Scoundrel.
This is Mary, and I will be playing Rora, the Tagorian Scout.
Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Without Gaming's Star Wars Birth of the Republic. Last time, the crew made it back to Haro and gave him $10 million that they had taken from Goshi Base. They had also set up to start removing some of Odant's business dealings into their names. Fake names, I believe, or a corporation. You set up a corporation, and that's all going to take care of that. After that, what else did we got the droids all reprogrammed, got one of them set up with a heuristic unit, so it can start developing a personality. What else did we do at Haro's besides that?
We ordered a cryo freezing chamber because we're turning one of his places slightly into a prison.
So, yeah, so we can start.
And hopefully our new spaceship is painted that. What color did I say it should be?
It ain't painted yet. You just made the request like the night that day or whatever. So it was like turquoise and it was something off, like light white, light blue. I don't remember. So that no one will be able to recognize it as a ship from now on. Is basically what you've done.
Yep.
What else? That night, or it was like 2 nights, because unbeknownst to you guys, the bounty hunter that was going after Lash tried to get in and failed his rolls, so he didn't make his move the first night. But the second night, everyone was awoken to Lash being kidnapped, and you guys stunned the bounty hunter and found out that he had been hired by Lash's mother to bring her home. And that's kind of where we are opening back up, that you guys were all sort of getting on the ship, and he was going to take his ship and head back to Bothwi. And so you guys are in hyperspace at this moment, and it takes a couple days to get there. I want to say it's like 4 days. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3. About 3 days to get there. It's not too bad. Is there? In the meantime, Lash is having a very difficult time meditating, doing her training. Every time she gets into a meditative state, her father shows up in a vision, and he's laying in a bed and looks weak, and her mother also shows up angry, just furious at Lash. Not saying much, but just shouting her name, Lash, that sort of stuff. And so your master is sort of going through this with you and telling you have a choice between utilizing these emotions that you have, or you can bottle them up or push them down, ignore them. There is a possibility that they could come back later, but the Jedi way tends to be more ignoring those things and separating yourself out from your family and basically divorcing yourself from your family. And the other way is embracing all of that, using that energy, using that frustration to your advantage. So you have a choice, basically, she's saying.
I think Lash is going to, kind of reminisce about the separation she made with the family and why she did it, and this quest that's sitting in the back of her head to connect with the person from her vision, who she's assuming by now is her biological father. And while she still cares for her family, I think she's going to head back with the intention of, saying goodbye a little bit more properly, and, making some kind of amends that she's headed down a path that she's happy with right now and has a new vision for her future. But, I think she's going to leave contact information with them to in case they need her.
Okay.
And now this is all going to, this is all kind of contingent on what state the family's in when she arrives.
Yeah.
But
also, when you're meditating and trying to focus on your father, you keep coming back to you slapping him over and over and over again out of rage or anger and frustration and all that stuff too. So that keeps jarring you out of your meditative state. Like every time you sort of get in, you try to focus on him sleeping and you just see yourself slapping him across the face. And it also changes a little bit to where you're slapping him while he's looking pale and sick and in bed. So it keeps jarring you out of everything. Like even doing lightsaber stuff, you're getting stunned, and if she's dueling with you, she keeps you keep ending with like a lightsaber at your throat sort of thing. So she basically keeps going over, it's up to you. You can use this, and I can teach you with the frustration and the anger. It's up to you.
She's going to try to separate herself from it. She's come to the realization that there's been a lot of manipulation from her family, and again, she cares about them, she loves them, but she wants to go on a different path. She wants to separate themselves from the royal drama, and the royal's the wrong word, but the noble drama, and she doesn't see herself on that path anymore and wants to put it behind her.
Okay. What is everybody else doing these couple days of flight? I'm assuming her crew's going to be messing with the droid, teaching and training.
I guess that's the right way of saying it. Mostly he'd just be trying to get to know him and show him things.
Right.
Hakru would still have his training that he has to do because he promised to do that. So I don't know how much of that would be with Lash or giving Lash space on that.
I think what's probably happening is while Lash is trying to meditate, you're sparring or you're doing your exercises, which is also kind of frustrating Lash because she can't get into that mindset. So you're stacking things, you're moving things around, you're doing things like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sparring because not lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, it would just be my chores on the ship.
Okay.
So piloting, whatever cleaning I have to do, maintenance.
Okay. So it's a eclectic montage of you doing things across the ship and teaching the droid to pour tea.
in the background of everyone's montage. everyone's doing their montage, like lifting weights, meditating, pressing buttons on a computer, and they're just Hakru walks by.
Yep. With a droid, like talking philosophy or whatever you're talking to him.
He might be talking philosophy. Hakru's not that smart.
So you're both training each other, is what's happening. Dodd, what are you doing?
Reading books mostly, like just chilling.
Okay.
Reading books, kicking back.
Jad?
Oh, Jazz just dreaming about how to spend his money.
Okay. And Rura?
Rura is doing a combination of getting back into being on the ship, being real comfortable with all of the working bits, going over everything, making sure, like, not actually double checking the work that Haro's people did, but double checking the work that Haro's people did.
They did a pretty good job. They haven't cleaned anything up, but everything looks pretty shiny.
And it's not that she's worried about it being done wrong. It's that she wants to make sure it was done right. If that makes sense.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also nice to kind of go over the upgrades too, to see, where there could be problems, or how do I access this to fix that sort of stuff. So
Get familiar with everything again.
Yep.
And when she's not doing that, she has finally learned enough about computers to like feel comfortable sitting alone at one and like not needing somebody's help. Okay. So she kind of spends some time going over those star maps now that she actually can figure them out by herself and see what's going on, and seeing where Bothui is and being like, we really could go over there.
It's very close. It's very close. Yeah. And also there's a part of the montage is you tending to this little tiny red plant, which has like vines are starting to grow up on the walls now a little bit. So it's like in a little tiny cup, but it's got a big flower, and it's like the roots have sort of come out and started to climb up against the wall. So you don't think it'll go anywhere anyway now, but it's interesting that it's growing, like it's growing.
Yeah.
So
you were concerned that the plant was going to go somewhere?
Ship gets shaken.
Like if the ship shakes, or
gotcha. Okay. I was going to say, what kind of plant is this?
Yeah,
we don't know.
We could start
Player Andrew doesn't buy it
and see what happens.
Feed me.
Yep.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Suddenly Seymour standing beside you.
We can't do this now. It's one of my favorites. I'll get into it.
It's really good. So a couple days go by, and the stars reset, and there's Bothui in front of you, coming into view. Nanat announces that we're here, and Leto is up in the front, and he disengages from the co-pilot seat and goes back and starts making adjustments on preparing for landing, that sort of thing. So ship comes down. I assume Lash tells them where to land.
Yeah, she also is going to explain a little bit deeper to the whole crew about the situation that they're arriving into. I don't know we've never really talked about how much they know about my past, but I'm gonna, tell them, hey, I'm kind of a runaway, guys. You know some of this, but I didn't quite leave my family with the niceties that I should have.
As you're saying that, I put down the book, and you could see on the spine it says Lash's family history. Bothui.
Oh no!
You don't say.
But I'm going to mention that I had hit my father, and I regret it.
Just once?
Just once.
Dad says, well, that's not so bad.
It's definitely taboo for a Bothan. So
I used to get in brawls with my old man.
Do you go into anything?
This is why fathers don't live with the families for most of the year.
Do you go into anything about your biological father or anything like that?
He's your
no, stepdad? Okay.
No, not yet. And I'm actually going to offer to everyone up in a local nice hotel.
Okay.
that I know of, close to my family's home.
Okay.
And I will pay for that. You guys can determine how much it's going to cost me. But I Lash is feeling like this is something that's taking us away from things that we're doing. So she feels bad about that, and she's going to put everyone up.
What's up,
If I
Hikaru?
sense that that's the case, oh, go ahead, Hikaru.
So this is just like when you guys start talking about family. Hakrud asks, "What exactly is I know mother matriarch. She runs family. What is father?"
Well, okay. Look, Hikaru, most family situations are units divided up between biological parents and their offspring. And then they're delineated further by the offspring's offsprings. And then you can extend that by talking about the parents' parents and parents' brothers and sisters and their offspring. So family can be a very, very large group of people. And with most cultures, those folks have varying levels of get along, but they often care about each other, at least on some level. Your situation, my friend, unique, or at least unusual for the rest of the galaxy. I can't speak for a crew, or for Rura, or, well, anybody else in this crew, but that's how humans do it.
You've raised more questions than you have answered.
I'll draw you a map.
This
We
would be
call them
best.
family trees, but I didn't want to scare you with the word tree.
I know what 3 is. Good hiding place.
Sometimes. Can I check to see if I sense Rura's Lash is mental state when it comes to her embarrassment of feeling like she's taking away from our responsibilities and like how serious she was about the comment about hitting her dad, because Dodd clearly just kind of laughed that off.
Right.
But if it actually hurt her, he wants to realize it.
That'd be a perception
Right?
roll.
Clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a social sciences roll?
Social sciences. Let's see what that.
Understanding the psychology of Bothans. And you.
Good
Now-
luck.
You
Yeah.
could have looked up Bothawi.
I did just say I wrote down a book called Bothan Nobility or whatever the heck it was, right?
Social. Let's see.
I mean, you could retcon that, say that I didn't actually have that book and I just created the spine and colored it in with crayons just to annoy Lash, which would also be appropriately Dodd. So,
With access to the interwebs, you can pull down pretty much anything.
Okay.
So I was getting ready to ask you, did you want, over the 4 days, you could actually have accessed Bothawi and any information on the Caffrey family line, and like it would all pulled up.
okay. Well,
It would be social sciences. It's psychology. Yeah.
okay. Cool. Then I will roll that. Boom. 18.
18. Yeah, you're picking up on her. It is a little bit of embarrassment and awkwardness. Like she feels like the light of everything is on her, and it's really, she's uncomfortable.
Okay.
And she's also frustrated, and she's also just in general not herself.
Okay. All right. So as she's kind of explaining those things, I'll make sure that it's clear that I'm paying rapt attention and taking it seriously with my body language. As soon as there's a moment where she's more or less by herself or everyone else isn't paying attention, I'll walk up and say, "Hey, Lash, seriously, family trouble's tough. I get it. If there's anything we can do, I'm pretty sure I speak for the rest of us. Well, maybe not Jad, but most of the rest of us, that we've got your back. Just whatever you need. You want distance, you want closeness, you want somebody with you, you want just a crew with you. Just let us know, man. We'll work it out."
Lash like jumps up and like gives him a big around the neck hug and says thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, she's kind of
Pat her on the back.
Yeah. She's vulnerable right now. This is not something she knew she was gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. Stuff is tough, man. Stuff is tough. I get it.
And
While
this
tell me what you need. We'll make it work.
While this is all happening in the corner, Hakru in F72 is leaned over next to him, explaining like the dictionary encyclopedia of what a father is. He's filling in all the blanks because so it's just like a little like, sir, you would might want to know, and he just goes on really quiet. So it's not everyone's really picking up on it, but it's like in the background you're seeing this happen.
He just nods, and the crew just goes, "Oh yes, the male DNA giver. Okay. What is purpose outside of that, though?" And that's when he just starts moving into actual like traditional family values and things like that. All of it going right over a crew's head.
F7 goes into everything in detail, as if he's reading it out of a book. So
this pulls out a data pad and starts taking notes. Like,
okay. So this all happens as you guys are coming in. The Port Authority contacts you, and Lash, you tell them like an access code or something like that to get into a good landing spot, so that you're not on like the outside or anything. So when you guys come into the city, you fly over this gorgeous, built-up city with all kinds of star ships coming in and going out, and there's an elevated rail system moving through the city. And you guys land on one of the more premium landing spots. It's kind of like well lit, clean, prestigious, and so it slowly lands. And you guys set down the landing bay, and it comes down. You guys exit, and there's a steward there, nicely dressed up with a hat and everything, and he says, "Welcome, Miss Kefre. We have a private transportation for you and your friends."
Oh.
Okay, so first of all, Lash is going to be dressed in what she has been able to put together as a more regal Jedi robe.
Okay.
Nice.
Like a Jedi would know it's a Jedi robe, but someone else may not.
Right.
You know, it's fairly regal looking.
So it's probably all white with trim and stuff like that on it.
Yeah.
Most people think you're dressed like a desert farm person.
No
like
joke.
A
That is one of the big things. Like,
no, this is like, it has like
this is a high thread count.
Yeah, and has like gold inlaid borders around things and stuff like that, and very pretty, like High Republic era looking stuff. And she's going to go up to the steward and point out and name off her friends here and say, I would like for you to bring them to the
Hyatt Regency or whatever.
The Bothan Hyatt. I reserved some space there for them, and then I will need to go to my family's home.
He says, "Yes, ma'am," and he bows deeply. Dodd, over the couple days, Dodd, over the couple days, you found out that the Kafres are one of the. There's like about 20 ruling families that kind of sit on a council and big shakers and movers. The Kafres are on that 20 list. So, coming into this is going to be a high galactic affair. So you can kind of let everybody know how to dress and how to act or anything like that when you're around them. Like, this is the big nobility stuff, not like wearing my cargo, overalls.
See, I was going to say, if anybody glances at Rura and knows how to read Tagorian body language, this is the first time you've ever seen her try to be like not noticeable and feel like look awkward and just be like, I don't think I'm dressed for this.
7 feet and 280 pound of invisible cat.
Yeah, like fur all like flattened down and ears a little back and just like
hunched a little bit. Yeah. I'm wearing the outfit that Lash bought me.
Yeah.
When she bought, remember when she bought
Yep.
the really nice outfits
Yep.
for everybody?
Yep.
I'm gonna wear that.
Yeah.
Because I figured
me
she's
too.
gonna know what looks most appropriate
Yeah.
and go from there.
So
And I could be wrong,
if
but I don't think I was there for the
think
buying
so
of
either.
that. So yeah,
No.
that's I do not have nice. That's what I thought. Okay.
But you do
So-
have a poncho thing that would probably be good to sort of conceal you, put your hood up, put it over whatever you're wearing.
Well, and Lash goes over and like hands her a credit stick, and says, there may be an opportunity to come to my family's home if you guys want to go shopping. And she talks to the steward again and says if they need a ride to the market, can that be arranged?
He says, yes, ma'am, we can put it on your account.
And
You don't have to get a
she,
cred stick on your planet. You just put it on the Caffrey account, and it all gets taken care of.
And she looks over her shoulder a little bit, kind of off to the side at Rora, and says, "Go ahead and get yourself a new collar or harness or something," and just winks at her and walks away.
casual racism.
Flared nostrils, whiskers going, and what could be nice?
So do you want to...
What would be weirder at this point? If she was nice,
Yeah.
or she's maintained this.
Well,
The
so
problem is she's still uncomfortable, so it's like she's not gonna say anything, but she was like, "That was." She's like, it's fine.
So at this point, because Lash is in the state that she's in, if you want, I can roll. But I want there to be Lash's intention is to make this less obnoxious as normal, more playful. And I'll roll on that.
Sure.
I don't think you need to. I mean, Rora would take it that way. That'd be one of those those reactions of, okay, that's how this is going, and it's a familiarity thing. So it's trying to be comforting, and she takes it that way.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, if she was really nice to you, you'd be freaking out thinking she's going to kill you.
Yeah.
That was my exact
much
thought
later,
too. We kind of looking at Roar. It's like, oh, Roar's a little nervous. Okay, yeah. Oh, your crew's like, oh, we got to put on our nice clothes, so he gets his nice vest, and everything. And then if Lash had said something like, "Hey, take care of yourself. Welcome to my home," we'd all be like, "We're gonna die. Time to leave." She says it to her crew, Dodd, Jet. Yeah, we're all fine. She says it to Rora. It's bad.
Right. Nanat's all kind of dressed up. His fur's kind of brushed. He tells Leto to wait on the ship and just do some looking around, make sure everything's okay. But he's all standing straight up and, very fine, the fine clothing that she bought him and everything. He looks a little awkward and like it's not fitting quite right. He's not used to wearing all these clothes, that sort of thing. So,
before we leave the ship, her crew is going to look to F7 and be like, I feel like this is going to be one of those things where I am out of my depth. Can you please guide me in the right direction for this?
as you wish, Master.
No. Her crew.
As you wish, Master Hakru.
No, Master.
What?
Just her crew.
I see, Sir Luke.
Yeah, that's what happens. I see, Sir Hakru. As Dodd is leaving, this other figure comes out out of the storeroom area and stands next to me and goes, "Do you require protection, Squishy Master?"
No. Do we have a name for this guy?
H8. Where is he at?
H8? That's great. I like it.
Let me make sure. Where's he at? HK M8. So you can call him.
Oh, I thought his name was Hate for a second.
Yeah. Can we find a way to hey, Hakur, remind me later that I just want to call him H8.
HK M8. So you can call him M8 if you want, mate.
Well, yeah, but H8 is way cooler. What do you think?
Yeah, you can rename him if you want.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't have the personality to care.
He does not have a heuristic processor. He is just
Not until
shooty.
Not until a crew finds one and installs it.
Drew wanted a friend, and he thought it
Yeah.
was, he didn't like that, his new friend didn't have the same capabilities as his other friend.
Yeah.
So he went out of his way to make sure that his new friend could do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to make friends with your droid, okay.
With that HK sort of backs up, clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah, I pick up my little data thingy and I send some instructions to him. Close the ship, block it up. Don't let anyone inside that's not us unless they use this code phrase. And I give him a series of letters and numbers.
Okay.
And then save that to a separate file on my computer and move on.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up and ask Rura if she thinks I should go with the hip holster or the armpit holster. Which looks better?
I think the hip holster looks classier.
All right, that's what I'm going for.
Okay. All right.
Are we
Shine my
are we
gun all up
armed?
and everything.
I guess that's a good question because I
That is
Drew
good
and
question.
Jet are armed.
yeah like I usually carry my blaster at my hip. I don't even think about it. But maybe
Yeah. Hakrew's version of unarmed is the vibro dagger and the heavy blaster pistol.
Yeah. My blaster pistol is really just an implied threat, honestly. It's not an actual threat. But
You only speak from experience.
right. It's pretty much my way of getting shot is this gun right here. But I don't know if Lash doesn't say anything, I stay strapped.
Yeah.
Well, and
Unless you're from reading up on Bothwy, unless you're in high society sort of stuff, it's fine to be armed. It's just a regular planet like everything else.
Lash is hard to separate from her saber at this point. She's been doing very little but training with it, and it will be on her whether it's carried on standard Jedi belt clip or concealed in her robe somewhere.
Okay. So you guys get into the transport, and it's a large, like town car sort of thing, hover car, and you get
Is
in.
it
and
luxurious?
It's like a limo. It's a limo without being cheesy like a limo. Like it's
Okay.
plenty of seating. There's a drink bar, all kinds of stuff. There's some like a small food
Super
bar.
clean, cool
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice.
Does it have a moonroof?
Oh, please have a moonroof.
See. No, it does not. It's super classy.
Damn it.
Like it's just
Do you want to make one? Okay.
Lash code.
Lightsaber crack.
No, it's super nice. You guys all get in. This thing takes off and starts going across the city. Now I'm hearing my echo. It goes across the city and sets down at the Hyatt. And you guys do you all get out, or you just let them go, Lash?
I'm gonna let them go. Like, I imagine that there is, a bellhop
Yeah.
type of person waiting to assist them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to that person briefly and away from everyone else.
Okay.
Basically tell them who I am and that they're to be taken care of in the standard family fashion.
Okay. Yeah, he opens the door and says, and whoever gets out first, if it's you, then you can talk to him. And he says, "I understand, ma'am. We'll do what we can for him, and let us know if you need anything, and we'll let them do the same." So, the rest of you guys get out. This place is like 25 stories tall. Looks like it's all glass. You guys go in, and it's a gigantic lobby, like 3-story lobby up, plants and everything. So one thing you're noticing about this planet, the plants are all sort of integrated, and the architecture is all very organic, and so it's just a beautiful place. It's like something out of Rio or Brazil or something like that. Like,
So I glance back at Rura and look at her looking at the plants.
He looks a little bit more relaxed.
yeah, yeah. And so the steward takes you up to the front desks, gets keys for you guys.
Individual rooms?
He says, no, it's the penthouse.
Oh,
And you guys all get into an elevator and go up. And it's is it the only one? Yeah, I think it's the only penthouse. So the elevator goes, once it gets to a certain point, it says you just have to put your key up against the thing and it'll go to the final level.
This point in time, this is how crew just thinks hotels are.
Right.
Right, like between Haro's planet and
He's-
this,
Right.
like this is just how people live. Apparently,
He's
Right.
literally never been lower than a penthouse.
Right. Right. So you guys come out into this
there's
thing.
the ship.
It's kind of like a flower where the living area is all sort of universal for everybody, but then there's like 8 rooms off around that are like petals that go
Cut
up.
to the wipe screen, and it says MTV's the real world Bothawi. 6 strangers
Could be.
take up residence in a house.
He says if you need anything, just the panel is here, and whatever you need, just ask.
Thank you.
And he bows.
What
and-
time is it? Is it around food time or food 30?
Let's see. It's around 3:00 in the afternoon.
Okay, so we're a few hours short of dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check out the amenities. Switch on the vid screen. Check out the shower and the bathtub.
Shower, bathtub.
you
You guys
know.
have a pool outside,
Nice.
a large like sitting area and everything. This thing is crazy.
Yeah. Boy, hard to imagine why, or hard to, let me rephrase that because Dodd's way smoother than I am. Boy, I sure understand why Lash wanted to leave all this.
And
This
Lash
is where
did
Lash's
not
family
follow
lives.
us up, right? Sorry,
What was that?
I said Lash did not follow us up, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, and to Dodd's response when he says, why does she want to leave all this? This is when her crew goes, oh, is this where Lash lives? Her family live?
No, I imagine her place is actually nice. I say it, and I open up a beverage.
Her crew is very confused.
Yeah. If you want, you can open up a little tablet and like search, and it's got like a picture of her house, like in a magazine or something like that. So
I'm just gonna yell, if you need me, I'm in the pool. And do a big
Green
cannonball.
streak right into the water.
You can try to
Not even take my
explain.
clothes off.
Yeah, try to explain to her crew what an estate is.
right.
You gotta explain to the crew what a swimming pool is, because he thinks Jad just went to go take a bath.
It was hard enough to explain the bath,
Yep.
because it was next to the toilet originally. That was its own issue.
Oh, boy.
Rura's gonna take a look around the room, this is very nice.
Yeah.
I have to go shopping.
Okay.
Just immediately
Wow.
be anyway,
Can the crew come with you? I like to see new planets.
yeah, I have no objections. Could be fun.
Can F7 come? He might know. He might be better at shopping than I am.
Sure.
Oh, come on, Hakru. You do a great job at shopping. In fact, you've been an excellent shopper. In fact, I think we're going to make you the official crew member of shopping. What do you think?
We'll honor this responsibility.
Very good. Very good. We'll get you a pin. Something to put on your uniform. We're proud of you, Hakuru. And then I kind of smile and okay. Like Dodd's thought bubble says, well, I was trying to be funny, but he's taking it seriously. It seems to make him happy, so okay. He is the official shopper of the crew.
Okay.
I'm adding that to my Obsidian portal bio.
I imagine that Rura is making weird, almost not quite cat hairball sounds, but it's that kind of sound when she's choking on laughter that she's not trying.
Not realizing he's all by himself because he doesn't want to go swimming with Jad and isn't really interested in shopping with the wholesome crew, and Lash is in parts unknown. I guess it's time for me to do some snooping around the area and seeing what the underworld looks like via the computers. So
Okay.
Not that I'm legitimately going to waste time with that, but that's kind of what he looks into is
Okay.
like, just in case we come back here or we need some contacts later from the underworld, I'll have quicker access to it.
Okay. It's a quick search. There's an area way outside.
Google.
It's not way outside
Where
of
do I
town.
hire a bounty hunter in Bathowy?
Well, it's like gambling and prostitution and all that stuff. It all comes up. So
Sure.
it's an area inside the city that's not as well patrolled, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. The longer we have, the more deep the research I do, like
Okay.
finding out about crime families, gang names, opposed parties, just the kind of stuff that I would know if I was a vice cop, right? Just looking
Okay.
at that kind of information.
Okay. Hakru and Rura make it out to the first shopping area
And F7.
in F7. And this is kind of like the plaza in Kansas City where it is all upscale, everything, big shops. It's like Rodeo Drive,
I love
that sort
that
of
place.
thing.
Love that place.
Very high end. So everything you're going to find is probably a little more expensive than normal, but it's a lot higher quality. So it's like Candyland. I mean, there's like food vendors on the sidewalk making gourmet foods and tacos and all kinds of stuff like that. So you guys can spend hours here roaming around and investigating and everything. I don't think Rua would have any social minuses that I could think of when interacting with people. Maybe a -2.
Not with people. I
or
mean, the only
occasionally-
thing would be if the Bothan Storian,
Right.
there could be a couple of Pretty Woman moments.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think if you feel a little uncomfortable until you buy your first really nice outfit, and then everyone seems to recognize the money or whatever, and they tend to accept her. A little
yeah,
more.
probably. Well, especially if we're putting it on, because I will take Lash up on the offer to put it on her tab. But like, as soon as I can throw that name out there, I'm sure that
Right.
helps smooth things over where I
Exactly.
actually look like I have connections and.
Exactly.
Well, also, unlike Pretty Woman, because the crew took his cues from everybody else getting fancy, he's wearing his fancy clothes,
Right.
and he has a protocol droid with him.
Right.
And with that as your escort, I have a feeling that you're not and that credit card, you're not getting Pretty Woman.
Right.
Right,
So
like I said, like
clearly-
there may be a couple of moments that like she feels coming on, but
Right.
they're
Early
smoothed
on.
over pretty quick.
Yeah, early on
Yeah.
until you get your first nice outfit, and then it all sort of fades away.
Just out of pure curiosity, I really got to hear from Jad of how he's dealing with this upscale craziness.
Jad is floating in a pool with a drink
Yeah.
on his chest, and his eyes are just open
imagine
with
that
stars.
his mouth, the mouth that goes like that. He's just spewing water, he's floating on his back, water out of the mouth.
He didn't bother to take his clothes
No.
off. He didn't
No.
bother to take his pistol off, but he did bother to like put it in a waterproof like bag or something so it didn't get hurt while he's in the pool.
I just assumed that they were all waterproof.
I don't know that you can call energy weapons fully waterproof.
I think so, because Luke fell in the swamp and got out, and everything was okay, right? I don't remember him
think
like
so.
drying. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think he had to do like some barrel cleaning, but that was mostly because mud.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll say you just took your weapon belt off at the edge and jumped in just to be safe.
Yeah, dropped it. Yeah.
Roll for misfire.
So cut to a very quiet car ride with Lash sitting in the back of this great big vehicle. She's sitting in the back just kind of trying to meditate a little bit, but it is not happening. And as close as this place you could get, it's still a little bit of drive up into the mountains where your estate is. The car pulls up and you get out, and where there's normally a person at the gate, there's no one there, which is really odd.
Yeah, so she's immediately going to try to remember her training and quickly run to the front door, but in the noble way of hands folded and walking properly.
You actually have to physically put in your code to get the gates to open up.
Okay, she's gonna try that, and hopefully that still works.
It opens up on its own, but usually there's someone in like a little guard area that would come out and let you in, and that's empty.
Okay, this is gonna startle her a little bit, so she's definitely beelining for the front hall.
Yeah, make a perception roll as you're entering the estate, heading toward the main house.
Oh, Jesus. 12.
It's enough as you're walking by. You keep noticing, like, it's not as pristine as it normally is. Like, there's leaves here and there, and some of the flowers in the containers don't look like they've been watered in a while. There's some are drooping, and there's a couple that are maybe that required a lot of water that are all dried up and shriveled. So you get up to the front door, and you try the things, and it's locked.
She's going to use whatever code or access privileges she knows how to use to open it.
Okay. Yeah, she goes over and touches a place on the wall, and a little panel opens up that looks like it's concealed, and she puts in a code, and it clicks back down. The door clicks open.
She is going to run inside and call for her mother.
Okay. Make another perception roll as you go inside. This huge house with a gigantic stairway that goes up both sides.
Natural 20.
This place is in disrepair. Not a lot has been. There's not a lot of cleaning's been going on. The floor doesn't look as polished. Everything's dusty a little bit. And no one answers right away when you come in and call. And usually there's servants kind of here and there and doing their thing.
She's going to head to her father's room.
Okay.
Suite.
Up the stairs, down the long hallway at the very end, and the doors open up. And there is, laying in bed with the drapes kind of drawn, there's just a little bit of filtered light coming in, and your father is laying in bed. It looks like he's sleeping. And you hear your mother in the bathroom with the water running, talking loudly to him. And she's doing her normal, like, kind of nagging, like, I wish you'd just get up and we can do this, and blah, 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 I can't believe I'm doing this. And she comes out with a basin of water, and when she sees you, she drops it, and it shatters, and water goes everywhere. And she shouts at you, Lash! And it's just like out of your trances. It startles you.
She's going to say, Mother, what's happening here? What is wrong with the house? What's wrong with Father? What's the situation? We ran into your friend. He tried to forcibly remove me from my lodging, and I came as fast as I could.
She slowly walks up to you, puts her hands on your shoulders, and she looks worried and angry a little bit, and then she just hugs you for several beats, and then puts you back. And she says, your father has been sick almost since the day you left. She pauses and looks at you and kind of squints her eyes a little bit. She says, I've had to slowly take care of him, and some of our financial stuff has gone sort of flatline while I'm dealing with this, because he's not working and doing what he's got to be doing, and so we've had to lay off housekeepers and guards, and we're trying to just save as much money as we can. And I hired 8 bounty hunters to go find you. They've been sent off, and that costs a good chunk of our money these last couple months. So we're just in a holding pattern. Hopefully your father gets better. We don't know really what's wrong with him. He just seems to have gone downhill, It's almost like he's lost his will to live.
She's gonna kind of bow her head down and says, "Is it okay if I talk to him?"
You could try. He seems to come in and out. That's all I can tell you. Sometimes he's listening to me. He's listening around. Sometimes he's not. It just depends on the day and the time. And so she walks over with you to next to his bed. And he looks really pale. Looks really like, not like he's dead, but really close to being in a coma almost.
Okay, so she's gonna go over and like sit on the edge of the bed, and she's gonna grab his hand and look at him and say, "Father, it's me. It's Lash."
And with that, his eyes kind of twitch and they slowly like roll open. And he looks up at the ceiling, and then he slowly looks over at you and kind of squints, and like he's trying to focus on you. He says, "Is this a dream?"
She says, "No, it's not a dream. I'm here. Mother sent for me, and I came as quick as I could."
And he kind of like puckers up, and like tears start streaming down his cheeks. He says, I'm so worried. I didn't know. He says, I missed you so much.
She says, "I'm so sorry, Father. I'm not sure. I didn't think it would affect you this much. I have so many things to tell you, but I'm sorry that our parting was so bad for you. I never thought that it would be this way."
And he slowly reaches his hands up and puts it on your cheek, and he says, "You're my stars in the night sky." And you hear your mother crying. She stepped back a little bit, but you could hear her like sniffling a little bit and wiping tears away.
Lashara is going to, maybe this is a little out of whack, 'cause I don't know exactly how this works, but she is going to attempt to channel some of her force power to kind of give him some life a little
The
bit.
vital transfer.
Yeah.
Does that
I've never used it before. I don't know if this is kind of the right place for it, but him being so sick, she wants to help him.
Does it do anything against condition tracks damage?
I think so, but I think I have to spend force points for that. Let me look.
The crickets in your background are cracking me up.
My background?
Yeah. Every time you talk, we hear the crickets.
Yeah, so special says you may spend a force point to avoid taking any damage when using the force power. You may spend a destiny point to move the target plus 5 steps on the condition track in addition to healing them normally.
Okay. That would do it. He's at what is he at? He's down a lot.
I'm gonna do it.
1,
I
2,
mean,
3, 4.
this is family.
He's at helpless.
Yeah, she is going to spend a destiny point to bring him up on the condition track, and then I have to use the force check to find out how many hit points it's going to give him, and it would end up being 2 times his level.
He's not actually down hit points. It's all condition track damage. So spend your force point as well to keep yourself from taking damage, or unless it's a roll. Is it a roll normally?
It is a roll for the damage. It's not a roll if I'm using the destiny point to mess with the condition track.
Okay.
So I should just be able to spend the destiny point here and leave the force point out.
Okay. All right. So it takes you back down to 1 destiny point.
Yes.
And he is like weeping, and he starts like sniffling, and there's no glow or anything like that with this. He kind of like opens his eyes again, and he says, he's Galen, and your mother is Kaylin. He says, Kaylin, my dear, I want to get up. And she starts and like rushes toward him. She says, "Are you sure you haven't gotten out of bed in weeks? Like, and he says, "Yeah, I think I want to stand up and hug my daughter properly." And they pull back the covers, and he kind of slowly moves a foot out, and then he moves another foot out, and he sits on the edge, and he looks at you, and he says, "Help me, Lash."
Yeah, so she's going to hold both of her hands out to him and kind of
And he
pull
stands
him
up.
up and to an embrace.
He stands there, and then you guys hug. He says, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're safe. I'm so happy you're back. It means everything to me to know you're okay. He says, I love you so much. And you can feel him like crying as he's holding on to you. And at that point, Mom slaps on the back, and she hugs too, and she's crying.
In that embrace, she says, I have so much to tell you from the time I've left until now. Can we all go sit down and talk for a little while?
He says, I would like to take a bath first, and I would like to eat. I feel hungry. And your mother goes, What? And he says, he rattles off a few things he'd like, and she says, yeah, take a long shower, and we'll have food ready by then. And she grabs your hand, Lash, and pulls you out of the room and closes the door, and she says, we have to go get food. We don't have a cook anymore. I'm cooking everything, so hopefully you can help, because I'm a terrible cook.
She says, Mom, how much did those bounty hunters cost you? And be honest.
She says, all said in total, about $1 million each.
Holy cow. That's a little bit out of what I can take care of at the moment. But this should help out. And she she hands over a credit stick. I don't know how that gets programmed or how you adapt the amount of money, but she's like, here's $500,000 to help get our family back on their feet.
Yeah, it works out. I can give you $5,000 or whatever, and then you go over and just plug it in.
Yeah, almost half of the money that I have, $500,000.
$500,000. Okay.
Yeah.
You plug it in. I guess there's like a panel somewhere or in an office or something, and she looks at it and then looks at you, and she starts to cry. She says, "Where did you get all this money?"
And she says, "Let's get some food, and sit down, and I'll tell you everything."
As you guys are sort of walking out, she says, "Maybe we should order food and bring it back, just to be safe. Unless you know how to cook. Do you know how to cook, honey? I don't know how to cook. I burn toasts. Like,
I can cook a bit now."
She just looks at you like, "Who are you?"
Is that survival? Is that cooking?
Yeah, probably. Unless you have like a knowledge skill that would sort of fall under
Culinary or something.
Can we cut scene here for a couple minutes and pop to those guys? I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
My son.
You guys head out to Louis or whatever and order food and all that stuff. So, the shopping is crazy. Oh, Seth bounced. Oh no, it switched places.
Switch places.
So all the names are off. So Eric is now Rura. Mary is now Seth. That's really weird. I guess it just rearranges itself when it feels like it. So
Jad, apparently there's a family that lives in this corner part of the town near the bakery, who's famous for abductions.
So you're sitting
So I've
out.
just been-
You're sitting
I've
out
been
on a
just
lounge
yelling-
chair
Yeah,
with like your thing, and he's like,
crime facts.
he's got
at
a
Jack.
straw like in his beak, like
Right.
the whole time
'Cause
floating.
in Dodd's mind, Jad loves to hear about criminals, and violence and things like that. So I'm just telling him anything I think is interesting, and he may be telling me to shut up, but I don't know.
He's probably just
He may be too
floating in
lazy to tell
circles.
you. Shut up.
It's with the straw in the mouth going,
Nice.
Half asleep. Ugh.
yeah.
The water is perfect temperature. The sun's beautiful. I mean, this is like Greece in the early summer. Like, it's just gorgeous. There's no humidity in the air. It's just, it's a virtual paradise. It's you hear the ocean off in the distance, and the mountains are off on the other side, and birds are flying by. You're like, this is just postcard beautiful. Like, why would she leave this? Like, why would she go sit in a freighter with us? You both are kind of like, just crazy.
Right.
I'm going to swim up to the edge of the pool and ask Dodd if he wants to go check out the underbelly. Tell him I've had enough of the high life for a little. I need to go down.
I could use a drink.
All right, you guys get out. He gets dried off. What kind of clothes are you guys wearing?
Not as nice.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll have to stop back by the ship.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone
And,
brought bags with them or anything.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I keep my card for get access to the door, though.
Okay.
Although after overhearing Lashara's story, I feel like we might be, we maybe should consider downgrading our.
You guys go out front, and the curb person, I can't even think of the name of what it would be. Like, as soon as you walk out, he waves down a vehicle, and it pulls down. And these are nicer transports, too. They're not as nice as what you were in, but pretty nice cab.
Right. Well, we'll ride on
You
back
open
to
the
the ranch.
Yep. You go back to the
town
ship.
car over the cab.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you put in your code, and the ramp comes down, and there's the HK droid standing there going, password.
I give him the password.
He nods and says,
One,
welcome back,
2, 3,
Squishy Master.
4, 5.
What do you call me?
Squishy Master.
Squishy Master. Oh yeah,
He
great.
backs up. You guys go in
I
and get your
thought-
clothes.
I look at Jad and I say, I thought our crew hadn't gotten to this guy. Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get your clothes, get back out. The vehicle's still there. It's a
Same
quick
procedure, locking up.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody that's not the crew in.
quick little ride. It's it's closer to the ocean, but off to the side. And you get into this area, and it looks a little more run down, but it's not dirty.
Doesn't feel
It's
right.
like maybe Old Town or something like that.
Yeah.
So you
Wait,
start
I
driving
think-
through, and you start seeing like prostitutes hanging out on the corners, and people just
So it's like
doing
my
weird
neighborhood.
people just doing weird things, sitting out. Yeah, some people are gambling on the corners, that sort of thing. And the driver is getting kind of nervous. He says, where did you want to be dropped off at?
I don't know. What do you think, Jad? That place? And I point to what looks like a tavern. Suspiciously close to the abductor's bakery or whatever the heck it was that I had looked up earlier.
Jad, you're on mute.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I said, yeah, that place looks good. I think they'll serve your kind.
If I'm lucky, then I'll get out of the car.
Pulls over, and the guy takes off, and he kind of does a U-turn and heads straight back out. You go in,
We may
and
have
it's a
trouble getting out of here.
smoky, dingy lit place that kind of has a weird smell to it
Perfect.
besides smoke, like musty.
I'll get the first round. What do you want?
I'll take that fermented blue milk.
All right, fermented blue milk it is.
Okay.
And I'll have something with actual alcohol in it.
Okay. What would that be? What would this be interacting with these folks? Trying to be a little more obscure.
Oh no. The cool way to do it is to walk in and act like I don't have any interest in anybody there.
Okay.
And just get a drink, sit down at the table, and talk with Jad.
Okay. It'd be a stealth roll. I
Okay.
think you got a decent stealth.
I do.
Try not to be
I do.
seen,
I have
noticed.
terrible die rolling skills, but yeah. All right. Okay, I rolled an 11, and my stealth skill
It's like 11, isn't
is
it?
10, so 21.
It's really good. You get in, no one really looks at you. You walk up to the bar,
Yeah.
get your drinks, go sit down.
Yeah, find it.
Did you want to
Fine.
make a roll for stealth?
Yeah, I can do that. I got a 21. No, 22. Excuse
Beautiful.
me.
You guys come in, slip in, find a seat in the back in a corner or something, and
Okay.
kind of watch the group, watch the people in here.
Yeah, perception.
Yeah. There's about 30 people in here.
All right.
And they all look like they don't want to talk to anybody else. Like a few of them are talking to themselves and are talking with each
Yeah.
other.
So surreptitiously listening on some conversations, just, make conversation with Jad, but as soon as neither one of us are talking, focus on somebody else's conversation for a second. I rolled a 16, perception 26.
Okay.
I also rolled at 16, 28.
Okay, so
Nice.
you guys are able to listen to. There's a couple monitors around the room that have like creature races on it, fighting, that sort of stuff. A sports channel on another one. So
Okay.
the sound's up. It's not super easy to hear, but with those rolls, it's you're fine. People are just talking about their mundane stuff. Some people are bragging about some stuff they've done, and those are really good rolls.
Well, just because we were high level noticing doesn't mean that there's necessarily something interesting being discussed.
Yeah,
Right.
not this
So-
hour. We're just gonna go this by the hour. So this
Okay.
hour, nothing's jumping out at you. It's mundane underworld sort of talk conversation.
I did remember to bring my comm with me, right? I don't
Yeah.
feel like I leave the house without it. So,
No,
okay.
and we'll
Just in case.
yeah.
What time are we supposed to be? Like, how much longer do we have before we have to be back to that party thing?
There was no party or anything set up.
Oh, I thought there was some kind of get together in the evening.
There may be, but nothing was planned.
All right.
And you guys all have communicators on, so she can contact you, or you can call her if you need to and see what's going on. So we'll cut to.
I'll send her a text, as it were, like I guess the HoloNet email or something,
Okay.
using my visor and my portable computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I just Lash, we're over here enjoying life. How are things in your end?
She's going to reply that her father was very ill, but is doing much better now. If you don't mind entertaining yourselves for the evening, I'll call for you tomorrow, and you may get to and possibly meet my family.
Okay. Honored, I reply.
You tell me what she said.
Sure, I say. Okay, so Lash's father was feeling pretty sick. Power of the fifth element has helped him feel a little bit better. And we're expected to maybe meet up with her tomorrow, but it's still a question mark.
So
we
I
can
kind of
do
feel like
whatever
we
we-
have a little bit of a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
You want to
feel
get
like
in some
this-
trouble?
Yeah, maybe. I think that we owe it to ourselves.
Well, let's take down a few more rounds and see what we see.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Same.
So we'll cut to Hakru, Rua, and F7. Just enjoying the whole shopping experience. So if there's any clothes you want to get, gear you want to get, this is all high-end stuff, and it's very easy to see the difference. So like holsters and stuff are shiny, and they've got inlay and all kinds of stuff like that. All the gear is like gold trim, that sort of thing.
Brooke is wearing more clothing than you've ever seen her wear, and and she has like the equivalent of like a knee-length skirt on her weird, backwards cat legs, and then she's not wearing shoes, but it's also very like it's pleated, but like and very heavy fabric and flowy, and she does a lot of twirling because it makes her happy.
Would she be wearing open-toed sandals?
No shoes, but she does have the equivalent of like really nice leg warmers.
Okay. Because I was going to say they have shoes, sandals that go up through all your toes. I mean, they can be custom made too. So
right, but
Maniac.
cat
Maniac.
No, I don't want. Yeah. She's weird about her feet.
Yeah.
It's fine. But and then like really like nice like the equivalent of like the long like sleeveless vest kind of thing that's like closed in the front but like drapes down over skirt, adding to twirl. And she's like found a salon at some point and just like been groomed by someone else for the first time in weeks. And it's amazing. All
your nails are done. It feels amazing. They do some sort of like dry shampoo thing on you, and so you feel and smell amazing.
Yes.
So
that's like she's just reveling in it.
Whatever she has done to her crew has done to him.
Okay.
He is in on it. He's getting the pedicure, the manicure, like, and he's like really interested as to like why people do these things and what's the purpose of this, and is he doing it right?
Instead of the dry shampoo, they take you into like a whirlpool sort of thing and put you in, and someone actually scrubs you up and does all, so this is the first time you're getting like, oh, this is how to bathe. Like, this is what I should be cleaning my ears and the whole 9 yards.
When he gets separated for that whirlpool, he actually gets very nervous and like almost doesn't get in.
L7 goes with you, and he's explaining the whole time, like, this is how humanoids bathe and clean themselves. So they remove some of the smells and the oils and blah, blah, blah. And then you can put on other things that make you smell better. And he's just, blah, it's all coming out. When he picks up on your nervousness or your like hesitation, he just goes into the encyclopedic, like, bathing was first discovered on this planet in this year and da-da-da-da-da.
And that exact attitude is strangely therapeutic for her crew, and he's all for it.
Yeah, L7's voice is very monotone because he hasn't quite figured out inflections yet, but it's all very like hypnotic almost. And so the people that are bathing you are like looking up at him every once in a while, and like when they start, scrubbing different areas or like your ears and stuff, and he just goes in the explanation of why people clean their ears.
Yeah. And it's very much like they go to do something and a crew like flinches, like, what are you doing?
Right.
And then he gets the explanation, like, you may.
Right. And so if there's anything like, if you have like random back hairs and stuff, like someone brings out a nice blade and you stop and the thing,
I'm just wondering how they're going to handle the scar tissue. Because I'm a patchwork.
They scrub you up. They shave any random hair or anything you have anywhere. And then when you get out, they dry you off. And they start applying like ointment to all of your scars. And it smells really good. Like it almost smells edible.
I like it.
And you look at it, and it doesn't taste great, but it doesn't taste like it smells. But it's kind of like an oily petroleum sort of base stuff, and they just keep like putting it on all the scars. Putting it on all the scars, and then they kind of powder you when you're done and polish up your horns, and they ask if you want any color on them, like her fingernails. Would you like color on all of your nails?
Yeah, whatever color she got on her nails, he gets on his.
They just start to open up like a whole thing of them, and they close it and start painting everything.
Some kind of deep blue.
Like I just imagine like his bath took longer because he was asking questions and stopping and like semi-fighting almost.
Right. I mean, but it'll balance out given the amount of fur that she has
Right.
to comb through.
Right,
So,
right. I'm imagining you get there like 5 minutes before me.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So Hakru just walks out, and you're like lounging with like just kiwi slices
Yep.
or something like that over your.
Yeah, her crew comes out in this huge, like, fuzzy, terry cloth, like, bathrobe and slippers, and he's, like, shuffling along trying to keep the slippers on because they don't...
He doesn't want to fall. He's
they
never
don't
worn
have-
slippers before.
Right, they don't have backs on him. And he sits down and they
He's
start doing all
barely
the...
worn more shoe than Rura.
Right. But he feels great. Before they put the wrap on you, like, you feel lighter and, like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't know I could be this clean, sort of thing. Like, that's what it means. That's why people take these baths. That's why that bath has that, scrubber and sonic thing and all that stuff. So it's totally eye-opening.
So it's one of those, like, you kind of had the feeling like he kind of had, like, this charcoal gray almost looking skin. Now that he's clean, it's like midnight matte black.
Yeah. Yeah. With the lotion and stuff on the scars all have this, like, gleam to them almost. So, and they have mirror, like, in the area where they're drying you and powdering you, there's mirrors all over the place. So he's just watching himself being transformed.
Yeah. He's very nervous, but very intrigued.
Right. So you guys get done, and it's like the cutscene, the wipe, and you guys are like standing out front. So you smell food off in the distance. The cars going through here are all quiet, hovering. There's no paper blowing on the streets. There's no real dust in the gutters or anything like that. Like this looks like brand new. Like someone just built this.
Who feels brand new?
Yeah. Yeah.
So does Rura, honestly.
Yeah.
This is
Your fur's just slightly blowing, and there's certain things they've like hairsprayed so your fur's not getting in your face or anything like that. It's very like, I should do this more often. Like,
You've been thoroughly coaffed.
right?
Right,
Yeah, you
yeah.
guys come out with bags of the product that they have used, so you can continue to do this for days. And L7's carrying them like, if you don't want to carry them.
Hakru will carry his stuff. L7's his friend, not his. So
He
actually,
asked. He asked to carry them.
We just had a spa day. I feel like F7 needs a droid spa day.
Okay. You find
as long as we can find food along the way.
Absolutely.
I would love to see this.
You find an outdoor cafe that serves all kinds of stuff. And
Does the cafe have an attached oil bath?
no, it does not. So it's all 3-course meal, water glasses and drink glasses, all 5 forks, that sort of thing. And L7's like slowly bending over between you two and like explaining what forks are what's used.
No, he gets a chair.
Oh, when he sits down and he does the same. He kind of leans next to you and tells you which forks for what.
And Rura is kind of like more certain than Hakru is, but she's also like listening
Right.
real hard with
Right.
one ear when she's like
Right.
hitting those. Hang on, there's like 2 extra forks. I
Right.
knew what to do with 3 of them.
Right.
What?
Right. And so you guys get done. You're stuffed. You have a to-go bag. And it's another little jaunt a couple blocks away. You find like a droid shop, and you guys go in and they, they don't normally offer it, but they have a cleaning area. They can clean your droid up for you. They don't seem like it's going to cost very much.
Oh yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, it's whole 9 yards for him too. So hot oil bath, tightening bolts that aren't tight enough, loosening bolts that are too tight, replacing any kind of rust. We're new droiding him.
Yep.
We're new chassising him.
They get him out and they spray him down with like a finishing spray that keeps sort of the dust off and everything like that, and polish him up here and there. He looks pretty good. He's gleaming now in the sunlight when you guys go outside.
I asked him what scent he wants.
He says, "I don't know. I don't have a smelling unit. So whatever smell you would like me to smell like."
He's going to take out like a little sandalwood mint oil and just kind of like put that around him.
Okay. He says, "Do I smell good, Master?"
He goes, "Yes, you smell very good."
Yeah, yes,
Sir
you
Hakru.
do.
He looks at you two and kind of stands up a little higher and totters along after you guys. So you guys have spent hours
Oh yeah.
You guys go back to your.
Just real quick, in terms of things buying, Hakru did want to buy some concealment holsters.
Okay.
A, because he absolutely needs them, and B, because the person told him that they would, because with the blaster being almost openly carried, he's like, oh, if you wear this concealment holster, now it doesn't ruin your outfit.
Right.
So the crew thinks he'll buy them for the crew, and now we all won't ruin our outfits at Lash's dinner.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, they just cost a little bit more than a normal holster would, but
Yeah,
not
they're
by
normally
much.
50 credits.
So they'd be like 60 credits.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
I buy 6.
But they're all very well made. Very well made. High quality.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to buy while you're out?
Food. The holster was the only, like, gear thing that he thought of. Hasn't Dodd been asking for, like, a really big, wide rim hat?
He did a while back.
I'm looking for a big, wide rim hat for Dodd.
Easily find one. Really nice. Okay. It looks like it would match what he normally wears.
I'm also going to find something with a very high collar for Jad. Like a shirt.
Okay. Yeah, there's like a shirt vest sort of combo that you think would look good on him.
Cool.
You've seen it around. You've seen it at various places you've been, on Harrow's planet or something like that.
I'm gonna go find. I want to find like some exotic seeds, like
Okay.
flowers that we don't have at home
On this
but,
planet?
You know, that would be seeds.
Easy. Super easy. Anything from flowering to vegetables, they have everything. This planet is very lush, and they incorporate it into all their stuff, so it's easy to find a horticultural shop.
She basically gets the equivalent of like an egg carton full of like different kinds of seeds and flowers
Yeah.
and a couple of fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
But like all like easily shippable.
Right.
Nothing growing, so
Right. And if you have a data pad, they upload all of the care instructions.
yeah.
Care and growing
Cool.
instructions. So, yeah. Anything else?
I don't know. At a certain point, I'm like, you think we should
Sun's starting to
Figure
go
out-
down.
where everybody else is, what they're doing?
I believe everyone was back at the hotel, so we could just head back there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do a screen.
Besides, we have a bunch of stuff to drop off anyway, so
Yep. You guys do a
Want
screen.
to drop it off at the hotel, or do we want to take this all back to the ship?
back to the hotel for now. Some of these things I want to keep with me. The rest of it we can figure out.
Okay. Screen wipe. You guys get back to the hotel. You go up the elevator into the penthouse, and it's all dark, and there's the door to the pool's left open, and there's a drink out there next to the pool, but you can just peek out and no one's around.
And then I
Whoever's
pull out
going
a
to look
goblin.
for signs of a struggle.
Starts marching around, going in through all the doors, nothing.
Roar pulls out a comm and calls Dodd.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because it's like logical thing. Call them, find out where they are.
Right.
A crew. We're just everything we've been through. Someone's trying to kill us.
Right.
Guns out. He's sweeping.
So Dodge,
We've had very different
your
experiences.
communicator beeps while you're in this place.
Hello?
Hey, we just got back to the penthouse. We was just wondering where you guys were, what you were up to. If you've heard from Lash.
Briefly, she says that we're on our own tonight, but we're likely to catch up with her tomorrow. She's hoping we'll meet her family.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys end up?
I don't know. Jad, what's this place called? It's called a place that looked interesting from the street when we were driving out this way.
The Twirling Twi'lek.
There you go.
Twirling Twi'lek. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Dot finally like turns around and realizes what's
There's
going
a
on.
Twi'lek on a pole the whole time.
So yeah, it apparently lives up to its namesake. Do you guys need us, or what's the story?
No, I think I just need to reassure her crew that you're, not kidnapped or anything.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Not yet, anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Is that the kidnapper?
No, it's just Dodd, and he and Jed are fine. They just went out for
Or
drinks,
so
I
they
guess.
say.
It's fine. We're all fine here now.
Yeah. Boring conversation anyway. Yeah, we're about to have company.
So for the
Everything to see here, folks. Move along.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to do 3 gather information rolls for Dodd and Jad. While you guys are in the thing.
Okay.
Oh, that's not.
Here we go.
That's
I'm good at
that's
this.
not good for me. All right.
I rolled a 6.
Oh man.
Okay, so 17 for my first roll.
Okay.
Then I rolled an 11, so 22 for my second roll. And then 19, finally. 30 for the
There you
third
go.
roll.
Jad, what'd you
Yeah.
get?
I botched the first roll, so I got a 7.
Both of us were taken up with Twi'lek. We're
Then I-
like, oh,
Then I got a 20 and an 18.
Okay. With the 31, you
Just 30.
Or 30, you overhear the name Caffrey.
Caffrey?
Caffrey.
And that's
Lash's
that's her last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you immediately
Zoom in on
yeah.
that conversation and start recording using my handy dandy computer thingy.
Oh,
You're not sure.
Using a swift action.
Okay. You're not sure how well it's going to pick up with all the ambient noise, but it's
Okay.
not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt.
Am I smart enough computer wise to try to filter some of that out? My computer skill is 18.
Probably not unless you get up closer to wherever they're at. And they're
Okay.
are they at the bar? Let's see.
Are they closer to the Twi'lek or closer to the bar?
They are at the bar talking.
Okay. Can I station myself, position myself better, like look like I'm interested in the twirling Twi'lek? And because I am, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then, kind of have
Stealth.
my back to them.
Stealth.
Yeah, stealth. Okay. I will most likely use a force point here.
Okay.
Yes, I definitely will. Hold on. All right. 23.
Okay. When you get up
Not
closer,
super good, but not super bad.
yeah, when you get up closer and stand there for a little bit and kind of listen in, apparently they're talking about a job and something about eliminating the competition. The old man's practically an invalid, and they're supposed to meet up with 3 other people and go in tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I turn around and I make my way towards the bar.
Okay.
Do I notice that either one of them have data pads on them?
Perception.
Okay. But not too bad. I rolled a 12, so 22.
No, they're just talking.
Okay.
Like one person's telling the other person what the job is.
Right. I mean, do I see like a communicator, like a watch or any kind of cell phone technology? It's probably in their pocket. I can't see it.
Nothing. Yeah.
Right.
If they do have it, it's
Okay.
concealed.
All right. Damn it. All right. I'm going to order a drink and continue listening.
Okay. Something about keep it quiet. If you can smother them, that's the best. They're going to go in with several people. Apparently, there's no security anymore. There's no servants anymore.
Okay.
One of the servants that was fired was angry, and that's where this sort of information came from.
Gotcha.
The mother won't be a problem. She's not a fighter, and
Oh,
she
boy, is she
sleeps
in for a
she
surprise.
sleeps in another room. So
Gotcha. Okay.
that's about it. And they start like finishing up their drinks, and then they kind of get up and head out.
Laughing about their cruelty.
They get up and head out. They're going to make a lot of money. We're going to make some money on this. The person paying us is paying really well, really
Okay.
well.
Do. Lash. Oh wait, no, not from inside the bar.
Because this is a couple hours later, we're going to go back to Lash, bringing home food. So we do a wipe,
Okay.
and they're coming in with bags of to-go food all prepared, and it smells amazing. Get inside, and your mother like gets out like the fine china, and she like starts scooping it up onto the plates and like arranging it just right and wiping down the edges. She's like, throw a couple pots in the sink while she's doing all this.
That's clandestine.
Like a scene.
And she walks out and she says, change out the tablecloth and do this and that and set the table. And you're kind of running around and like you're used to like big bouquets of flowers on the table and like silverware hasn't been polished. And so you're kind of like quickly like polishing up some stuff, and the plates they got spots on them because they've just been kind of roughly washed. And it takes you a little bit, but you get it all kind of set up nice, and she brings out a couple candles, and so lights the candles. And about 10 minutes later, you hear some rustling, and your father comes down, and he is dressed up in his finest, like, nobility, ambassadorial, like, outfit. And it takes your breath away. You haven't seen him dressed up like this in years, and it's just, he looks really good. He's trimmed up his beard like it should and braided it again, and your mother also gasps when she sees him, and she says, I feel like I need to change, I'll be right back. She kind of like sweeps out of the room dramatically.
That is like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like these people keep going and being by themselves in this big ass house.
That's what it's. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's a weird, like you've never seen the other side, so this wouldn't seem too out of place for you, but for Lash, it's totally like.
Oh no! I
holy
just
shit.
mean I know that a hit squad is on its way.
Oh yeah, well,
And these people keep separating.
yeah.
Anyway, go
Everyone into separate rooms. I'll take the
Yep.
basement.
on. Tie yourself up.
These lights
So
aren't working. I'm
Lash
going to
is-
go down anyway.
Lash is going to give the proper Bothan nobility greeting with a fully flourished, trained curtsy.
He bows.
And yeah, and she says, "Welcome to supper, Father."
He walks over to you and gives you a hug, a full-on hug again, and says, I can't believe you're here. You're actually back. And he starts to
Cost
cry
the family
again.
fortune, Dad. But here I am.
Yeah. So, from this point, I guess we'll wait for Mother to come back. She's going to kind of small talk with
Okay.
her father until Mother comes back.
Okay. He pours a couple drinks for both of you. He's never poured a drink for you before. Like, this is like all of a sudden you're adult Lash with a drink in your hand that you may have sipped once or twice before, but this is all like, holy cow, I'm an adult.
She is going to, as soon as her mom comes back into the room, she's going to stand there and kind of turn around in a circle and says, "What do you think of these robes?"
When your mother comes back in, she is dressed. She is like head dress with beads and everything, and You've never seen her wear this dress before. You might even, this might even be like her wedding dress or something like that. Like it's an old dress, but it looks amazing.
Okay.
And she says, how would she say? How would she react? She says, "You look very nice."
And she says, "Thank you, Mother. Please sit. I have a tale to tell."
Everyone takes their seats, and Mother gets up and pours drinks for everybody, and then sits back down. And you can go into your whole tale if you want, or we can yada yada it. It's up to you.
We can kind of yada yada it. I want to, the main points. Meeting the people on the mining planet and helping them out, and running into the Tatari and fixing some hurt on this planet, and making contacts in the construction world, and now and then she really wants to start going into detail about her adventures into wild space, and how she was feeling drawn there somehow. She thinks it's linked to the visions that she had been having, which she still does have, and right at the peak of this explanation, she's going to reveal that she found a Jedi Holocron, and that she has met a teacher. And for the last, it's been a couple months now?
Yeah.
6 weeks, a couple months. She has been apprenticed to this Force instructor, and she's learning to become a Jedi. And again, she shows off her robes a little bit and says that her path from childhood has diverged to what it is now, and that she's very happy, and asks them if they have any questions.
They sit for a beat quietly, and they kind of look at each other and look back, and your father says, "The Jedi are it's a very dangerous profession to go into. I've always heard that they are kind of zealotous, is that right? They are some are fanatical. Are you sure this is what you want to do with the rest of your life?" And your mother says, "We could really use you here. We really could use you building things back up again and getting the estate back on track."
She is going to say, "Well, I've thought a lot about this, and my path has never been clearer. I have to stick with what I've started. I have to solve the mystery of what the Force is telling me through my vision. I'm very sorry for how I parted when we last were together, and I will leave communications tools here with you in case you need to get a hold of me, and I promise to stop back in as often as I can. But my new friends, my crew, and I have a lot of good to do, and it's revealing more about my character than I ever knew before, and I want to maintain this path. I have an incredible teacher and incredible friends, and I'm needed elsewhere."
Your father nods, and he says, "I understand." And your mother looks at him and says, "I don't understand. This is not what you should be doing. You have family obligations. What are we going to do when we get older? Who's going to take care of us? You're going to be out across the galaxy, and we're going to be alone. And these last few months have just really shown me how vulnerable we are." And she starts to choke up. She says, I need help. If something happened to your father again, I couldn't take care of all this. I can't take care of all this." And starts going into this very heady, not a guilt trip, but she's laying out all of her fears. and what she's seen recently and how things have fallen apart. And she's like, I miss having a cook, and I miss the stupid stuff.
Lash has siblings, right? Or half siblings?
I don't think so. I don't think you wrote them in. Mm-mm. You're the only child as far as your backstory was written.
Okay. Thought she had siblings.
Did she? I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah, we can work that out later.
Yeah.
She's very concerned in the same way that her mother is about the future of the family. And she says that I don't know where this will all end up, but I know with everything inside of me that I have to figure out what the Force is trying to tell me. Don't worry, Mother. Don't worry, Father. I will stay in touch. I won't be gone forever. But this is something that I have to do. Can you please respect my wishes? And I promise to stay in contact.
Your mother starts to argue, and your father says, stop. We can let her do this. We can work this out here. We'll get things back on track. I feel much better now knowing that she's safe and that she has a direction in her life. And I'm very proud of her. And so this conversation is going on a couple hours, I'd say. And we're going to cut to the outside of the estate as the camera pulls back. And about 5 figures start walking up to not the gate, but to the fencing. And they start like looking around. And then we'll cut it there for the night. So thank you all for joining us for another episode of Star Wars Birth of the Republic. This is Gaming Without Gaming, and we'll see you next week. May the Force be with you. This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming, all rights reserved. Visit us at gamingwithoutgaming.com. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/gamingwithoutgaming. Title music is by Greg Braun. Find him on soundcloud.com/Clara7. That's KLARA-7. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Gaming Without Gaming logo music is by Kevin MacLeod.